Welcome to the Angel Empowerment Show from I Can't to I Can with your hosts, Cindy Smith, and co-hosts, Deb, Nola, and Sam. In this show, airing every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, gain more insight and practical, intuitive tools to bring more clarity and purpose into your daily life. You can listen or be involved in live professional angel card readings on transformationtalkradio.com so you can heal, thrive, and grow in your life. And you'll experience it all with 4 of the best in the field. The Angel Empowerment Show starts now.
Well, here we are, Sam, and I'm coming live from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Shout out to my family here in Winnipeg, and I know you have family here too in Winnipeg.
I do.
So shout out to them also. We're excited for tonight's Angel Empowerment podcast show because Sam and I are going to, the whole theme for February is around relationship and love. And we wanted to share a little bit of our life story with second chances to give everybody that empowered hope that if you haven't found the right one, you will. And so we get to share, and I want to say my co-host Sam Bell, but she has a married name.
I
also.
do. I have many names. We won't go into that.
So are we a year? Is it just your, like, it was Family Day weekend that I was at your wedding, right?
You were yesterday. 1 year ago, yesterday.
Well, happy anniversary to you both. Right? So I'm just going to, so everybody that's listening, remember the last 30 minutes of the show, we will be doing live angel card readings. If you have relationship questions, either, or if you want to, a general message from the angels, but all you have to do is put your name and location on social media. And also you can call in at 1-800-930-2819 and talk to Sam and I direct. So Sam, I always say it's asking the angels for the vibrational match. So I'm going to let you start because you just had your first year of marriage anniversary. Mm-hmm. And then I will share about my love of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start off by saying, the Facebook, social media, it is full of all this love and teddy bears and chocolates, and it's all so lovely. And there are some people like I was who are like, oh, I don't want to hear any of this. I don't want to hear any of it. I'm single. I've just come out of a divorce. There's nobody there for me, and I'm one of those that is just, go away, take it elsewhere. I don't want to hear about your Valentines and about how happy you are. That was my vibe then, and I didn't meet anybody. I didn't attract who I was hoping to attract. My friends had me, because I'd been married for 21 years, and my friends had me on all these matchmaking things, I can't even think what they're called now, but, these match.com and what have you. And, I went on a couple of dates and it was like, ew, no, it doesn't work. It's just not feeling this. And of course, what I was doing now in hindsight, I was attracting what I was putting out there. I was in a flunk. I was looking for perfection. But at the same time, I was really hypercritical of everybody else and anybody else I would meet. But I was also really critical of myself, my low self-esteem. I felt I was getting older, I was in my 40s at that point and thinking, and it was just yucky. And I think I remember having an angel card reading with Cindy, and she drew the wedding card. I'm like, oh yeah, right.
I remember that, actually. I do.
And of course, that was probably, I maybe had done my AEP at that point. But but I was still really working on a lot of self-development, putting away a lot of relationship issues, coming to terms with my relationship with my mother, for instance, and my estranged sister. And yeah, that there was a lot going on. But then it's almost as if the sun rose. I stopped looking for somebody. And you hear this so often. When you're not looking, you find somebody. And I did. I was quite happy. I was starting to love myself, love my life, love my friends, get back into my hobbies, enjoying just being me. And then poof, there he was. In the self-help aisles chapters. Got behind me and I heard this lovely Canadian voice, and he said, is that a good book? And I was doing the 21-day sugar detox at that time, self-love, looking after myself, right? And I didn't turn around. I just said, well, yes, it is. I actually coach, this program. And he said, oh, I've just been diagnosed as diabetic. Do you think it would be good for me? And there he was. And yeah, we got married probably about 7 years after we first met. And yeah, you were there at the wedding, Cindy, and we celebrated our first year anniversary. But the thing I think what I'm trying to say here is that, it really is. We've talked a lot about this in a lot of our shows about, what you put out there is what comes back to you. It's your vibrational match. And in those first years, my vibrational match was just, it was icky. And then as soon as I started to stop thinking about that and really focusing on myself, and joy became my buzzword. I wanted to be happy. And there he was. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell.
Well, and I love your story because I've watched your journey right from the get-go. And I do remember the wedding card coming up. It was actually at an expo. You were there, you had a booth, you're an AEP, and you whipped over to have a quick check-in with the angels, and the wedding card come up, and you were like, what? I know. But that's the way of the angels letting us know when we're on the right track. Mm-hmm. Okay. So definitely when, over the years of me doing this work with one-on-one clients, and when they create, it's an angel card reading or a session, or it really begins, just as Sam said, with self-healing. Because it truly is the vibrational match energy that we put out there. If we're struggling with our own self, we're going to attract somebody that also allows us to keep struggling with our own self. And it really depends on levels. So nobody think that just if you still got healing to do, it isn't impossible to find the right person. It's just that the more that we are aware of our own stuff, it's easier to trust divine guidance, angel guidance, to bring the right one to you that matches. So I end up doing, both of us, I know Sam, you do with clients, and I do with clients often. If somebody is asking, can the angels tell me when I am going to meet the one, or different things, we end up, or so often, I'd say probably 90% of the time, guided to do some sort of healing session to shift up the energy somebody's carrying, whether it's a past life healing, whether it's letting go of old energy, healing some wounds, getting back into the trust of a relationship, or the possibilities of the right relationship. We've got so many angel techniques, we call it, in our back pocket to assist people to get to that place, which you've talked about personally. And people say, I want to know when, I want to know what they look like, give me a time frame. I mean, sometimes angels give a time frame, but I've said this repeatedly on the show. Often they'll just give us an idea, because we can have more than one vibrational match. It's just whether that person is ready for us or not, and the angels line up. So for Les, I call him the love of my life. I know 20 October of 2011, because he was taking one of my classes, Angel Empowerment Practitioner. And I had at that point said to the team, my kids are teenagers, and I was, recently divorced. And I said, no bringing anybody in my world. Let me raise my kids, let my kids get, and then I know that there will be, the love out there for me, but please let me just raise my kids without the, I don't know. So I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. And in he comes to my class in Leduc, Alberta. And I had just recently moved to Calgary, and he's from Calgary, and he had signed up. We had met each other once, but he had signed up to take the course, Angel Empowerment Practitioner. And the morning of the class started, I think there was like 12 students, and we were in a circle, and my energy got shifted upside down. It's the only way I could pay it. I can't even tell you. When he walked in the room, it's like, oh. I remember thinking, oh, I'm in trouble. And because his energy threw my energy into a tailspin. I don't know how else to explain it. It was as if I was hanging off the roof going, no, angels, I'm teaching. I need to be grounded. I need to be on track. So it happened so quickly for us. We both weren't expecting it. I can honestly tell you. And he was a student, but of course he's a vibrational match, because he believes in what I do. He believes in, we have different belief systems, but definitely the angels brought somebody in that would support me on my journey. And I always say, I've said this from the beginning, if after that class, 5 days, if, within 2 weeks, if he would have got down on one knee then and said, will you marry me? I would have said yes, because it was so true. I really talk about vibrational match, and he is my rock, my support. He's the most giving person I've ever met in my life. And he keeps me grounded. He keeps me on track, and he loves my children. And I love his children, because he has 2 children. I have 2 children. They're young adults. We have a granddaughter. And I tell you, so for anybody, I wasn't looking. I honestly say I wasn't looking. And they truly brought me in a vibrational match. That's the only way that I can explain it. And just like you, in all that we do, they might not 100% understand what we're out there doing, but we definitely need somebody in our back corner to support us on our, I call it our light worker journey. Right, Sam?
Oh, absolutely. And we always giggle because Glenn calls it my hocus pocus. Oh, she's doing her hocus pocus again. But and as well as I do, Cindy, at the first time I actually heard him telling and explaining to somebody what I do, it was like, oh wow, angels, you knew. And he's in the other room at the moment. He knows what I'm doing. He knows what we're talking about. Like you, he's my rock. He supports me on my journey, and he knows how important it is to me. Which is wonderful. And children, we're doing the show. It's all about second chances. There's no other father for my son, and I had I still have a beautiful relationship with my ex-husband. Cindy, you've met
Oh,
him.
yeah.
He was at our wedding, which some people feels a bit odd, but we said right from the beginning, if our future partners can't cope with the fact that, okay, we weren't very good being a husband and wife, but we're phenomenal parents and we're best friends. If they can't cope with that, then tough. Before Gwyneth Paltrow did the conscious uncoupling, that's exactly what my ex-husband did, and we nurtured our relationship. And if there's anybody out there who is going through a breakup or has been through a breakup, then one little tip that the angels gave me was, if don't do anything unless you're going to be happier. So, and that really stopped me in my tracks. I had to be happier. And that wasn't just me to be happier. Gareth needed to be happier. Ben needed to be happier. We needed to be happier moving forwards. And he's found a beautiful lady. Alison, if you're listening, I love you to bits. She's a dear, dear friend, and she's my ex-husband's wife. And I couldn't ask for a better stepmom for my son. And I know, Cindy, you have similar relationship with your ex. And I think there is something very special about that that's really key in finding your vibrational match. If you've still got dirty laundry kind of thing, then you can't fully release yourself into another relationship because you've still got that baggage, that laundry at the back of you. So there's a little tip that I was given, and I worked hard, and I still work hard. I work hard at my own relationship now with Glenn, but I still work very hard with my relationship with my ex-husband. It's important.
And
just end.
It is. And I wish I could be more witness to it. I have many, and it makes no difference whether it's male or female. Mm-hmm. That they've done their healing work and would really like to have some sort of relationship with their ex because they know it would be better for the kids. Mm-hmm. But we can't always force it with our exes. We can do our healing and do our best to project out of us what we would like in a relationship with our ex. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work as well as it did with you and I, Sam.
No.
But again, it's around getting to that point of doing your own healing and working through however you choose it to be, whether it's in an alternative healing world, whether it's talking to a therapist, whatever it is, it's getting to that point so that you can ask your angels truly, or spirit, or creator, or however you want to ask, but you can truly say, okay, I'm ready for my vibrational match. And what I always say to clients is ask and then let it go. Just as Sam and I, both of us said, we weren't looking. And boom, but we knew. Mm-hmm. And so the angels line it up for us. And yes, I know many people, and I do know many people that have been very successful online dating. Okay. So I know that it can work. Just because I've met people and they're in my circle. It's just that, yes, you are actively out there, but then ask the angels. This is what I say to clients. Ask the angels to light up your vibrational match. This isn't you wanting it to happen and, oh, I really want it to be this person. What you do is you ask them to make sure to light them up, that there will be something that gives you a concrete, oh, this one's worth going on a date or exploring more in, a safe way. It's kind of like, how do we put it? I guess, Sam, I'll explain how I put it and then you explain how you put it. It's kind of like we ask, we put it out to the universe, and we know they're going to line up the situations and the opportunity without us getting I'm doing it wrong. Did I do something wrong? How come it isn't happening? I've been waiting for months. It's been a year, when we start to say self-doubt. How would you define it, Sam, about ask and let it be?
It's second guessing, right? And I mean, I remember that I would be like, okay, angels. And then I start to say something and then I get it wrong. It's like, okay, try again. And I wanted to get it absolutely right. And then as the years have gone by, I realized it doesn't matter. However we want to dress it up, just ask and make it simple and then let it go. And stop, because as soon as you're starting to like, oh, I wonder if they heard my message. I wonder if is this the person? Is that, you start second guessing yourself. So it's really, and again, the only way that I can explain it is ask and then move on in your life, because, and I remember doing a reading with, it was actually somebody who did an Akashic record reading with me. And they were talking about me and not a vibrational match, but I thought it was supposed to be at the time. And they said that my journey was moving me forwards. And then he was coming here and then he'd stop. And then I would be stop, and I would be stuck there waiting. Right. And then I realized that I needed to keep moving forward. And that, I think, has been the secret for me, is no matter, I'll ask, but then I have to keep moving forward. So in that timeline, that other person is going to come in when they're ready, when it's their time.
Yes.
Yeah. And don't second guess yourself. It's so simple.
And we, Les and I joke about the synchronicity of how everything planned. And, for years he had a psychic tell him that his soulmate was in BC. Well, of course, I lived in BC until 2011 when we met. So all these little things. There was one time he was in White Rock, and I was doing readings this is in BC. I was doing readings out of the store that he frequent all the time. And he actually got to the store the day that I was there and didn't go in. But I wouldn't have been available. So I was still in my partnership, in my marriage. So it's as if the end was like, we're, here, we're bringing your energy together, we're bringing your vibe, but it isn't going to happen until both of you are ready. Of course, I mean, none of us plan to get married and then you have a divorce. I mean, that's a whole other show. But I think we just really wanted to, because it's so interesting, all four of us that host the show, we are all happy in a second relationship, have found our match. Nola has recently got engaged. I know, congratulations, Nola. And she never said anything on the last show. So, I guess we wanted to just share our story, because it is for all of us, it's so positive, and know that everybody has at many vibrational matches, but the angels will make it happen. Even when you're not ready, because Sam and I are a testament to that. We want to give hope. Isn't that what?
Absolutely.
So any of our listeners, we really want to give hope that never give up on love. Never give up on love. And for no matter whether you're male, female, non-gender, any of that, never give up on love, because the angels, if you just ask, they'll make it happen for you. And I always say to clients, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, because when we do, and we know that we'd be an amazing partner for someone else, then it's so easy for the angels to bring somebody in that is exactly going to understand you, support you, know who you are. I mean, you and I could talk, blended families and all of that. But, Sam, I know because I'm a counselor and you're a nurse, and I know that things can be really difficult for blended families, for some families, especially if you don't get along with your exes. Sometimes it's hard for me because you and I have it so well. My partner Les and my ex-husband Greg, they're buddies, right? They we have family dinners together. They're buddies. The kids, it just makes it so easy on all of us. It really, really does. So for anybody listening to this, that you have kids and perhaps you're separating or getting a divorce, please know it's about the kids. It isn't about us. So sometimes just swallow that ego, swallow up some of the stuff that you're going through, and do everything you can do to assist the kids on the transition. I've worked, I'm a couples counselor, so I've worked and I've seen the turmoil that can cause. And this isn't me pointing fingers at one person or the other. This is saying if we can put our kids first, sometimes it really makes it easier, even if you're angry at your partner, because it isn't the kids' problem that you as couples are having problems. Sorry, I'm getting into the negative, Sam. I just felt the vibration drop. Oh my God, did she really go there?
She did.
She did. But I guess it's
true. It is true.
But you and I have been so lucky.
We're very fortunate. But the other thing, as I say, we've spoken a lot on many of our shows about what it is to be your true, authentic self. And if you can find yourself in a relationship where you can really, truly just be you, and you're not trying to please somebody, you're not trying to be the person that you think that they should be seeing and falling in love with, really be your true, authentic self. And really, in every relationship, I've learned, I've touched on the fact that I had a very difficult upbringing, and I grew up trying to please, trying to be somebody that I wasn't. And I had disastrous relationships from, boyfriends, from, girls in the classroom, and terrible relationships. But once I became my true self and was comfortable with myself, all of my relationships have improved.
Awesome. Okay. Our first 30 minutes is flown by.
Always does.
Always does. We're going to have a short break. And please, everybody, if you're listening or watching live, you can either put in your name and location. We will definitely give you some angel messages, or call in 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back. And Sam and I will just share a few more things on how to assist yourself. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Is it time you finally did that thing you've always wanted to do, or did it way better, or fixed that problem you've been having for ages? It is time to build something incredible with Sam Bell as your coach, educator, and healer. You've heard her on the Angel Empowerment Show, and she is committed to helping you to stop existing and start living. Book coaching, healing, or angel card sessions at sambellinspired.com. When you feel the world is sitting on your shoulders, or your body is screaming at you to get help or get well, or emotionally you are spent, Deb Weinberger can help you in your healing journey. You've heard Deb on the Angel Empowerment Show, and she can support you on your healing journey. She offers several types of alternative healing, assisting you to thrive in an energy-charged world. You can book your session with Deb at onawinghealing.com. We all want confident and happy kids. Nola Peacock, co-host on the Angel Empowerment Show, works with families, coaching parents and kids to find the strategies and techniques that really work, helping your child develop the crucial personal skills that they need to become confident, resilient, and successful young adults. Book a coaching session today at nola-peacock.com. That's Nola, Nola-peacock.com. Are you tired of struggling and feeling overwhelmed or being indecisive about your future? Angel Guidance can assist. Contact Cindy Smith, your Angel Empowerment Practitioner, for an angel card reading and more. How would you like to gain more clarity, energy, and a new perspective for your upcoming future? Find out more and book a session at cindysmithaep.com. That's cindysmithaep.com. Is it time you finally did that thing you've always wanted to do, or did it way better, or fix that problem you've been having for ages? It is time to build something incredible.
Hello, everyone. Sam and I are back. We just had a quick break. If you missed our first 30 minutes, we have been talking about second chances in love, because Sam and I have definitely lived through that and have found the most amazing men to be our vibrational match. I said to Sam, before we start giving some messages to our listeners, I'd like to just spend a little bit time on sharing a little more of what we did personally to get there, and also what we do to help clients get there. That's for your listeners, like, well, you guys have really done well at finding these great vibrational match. What did you do personally to get yourself there? For me, I'll just quickly share, because I teach and do what I do, I'm a big walk my talk. And that doesn't mean that I'm perfect by any means, but I call it, when stuff comes up, I need to figure out how to clear it. And I've had so many amazing experiences to learn on a, both as in a therapy way and, HUNA, NLP, angel empowerment, all of the tools that I've had. It's that continually, if it comes up, I know I need to do work. And I need to, if I stay in the victim role, that, oh, my life isn't great, then I'm going to create it. I'm going to create more of it. And it is just that truth. So for me, tons of healing work for myself. And it was also for my partner, Les, because he's divorced, he had done a lot of his own healing. So that's part of why I say the angel said we were ready to bring ourselves in. Sam, and I know you talked about it, that you've done a lot of your own work in healing. What do you suggest for your clients or new clients, or for women or men looking for love?
So again, I come back to that being the truth. Who am I? Who am I really? You know, and that's a good question for anybody who's listening, you know, just to sit quietly, get grounded, and just to ask yourself, who is the true me? You know, and how many of us don't really know ourselves? We spend so many years of our lives trying to be something, you know, trying to impress people, trying to be perfect. Especially, you know, women of my age, I'm 55, I'll be 56 next week. But you know, you start to look at the way that you're aging, or you know, the way that you look. I mean, for me, I was always very self-conscious. I was always told as a youngster not to smile because my teeth were ugly, and you know, and I had this anxiety, so I used to chew my mouth, and I used to get all this redness around my mouth. And you know, my parents used to tease me about it and say, look at you, you know, look how ugly you are, look at that mouth, you look like, have you ever seen a monkey's backside? That is, honest to goodness, something that I was told as a child. So from really, really early on, I honestly thought that I was ugly. I really thought that I had a horrible smile, and I used to put on makeup, and I used to lacquer my hair and try to make myself look as perfect as possible, because I didn't want to inflict upon other people my ugliness. You know, some people thought that I was being vain, but I really felt that I had grown up thinking I was ugly. Now people compliment me on my smile, and it's like, really? You know, my smile, my goofy teeth, good. I'm just me. And I've moved all of that away from me. I've moved it away. And the way that I did that was a lot of healing work in clearing what I was holding on to, and it no longer served me. It did not serve me well to think that I was ugly and I needed to hide away. You know, that I was fortunate that I had a husband that was still married to me after the 15, 18, 20. We were married for 21 years. We didn't actually get divorced for another 8 years after that. But, you know, it's finally, it was meant to happen. My relationship with Gareth was meant to break down because it pushed me to do the healing that I needed to do and find that self-confidence, raise my self-esteem, and actually get to know me, get to know the things that I liked. You know, what's the first thing when you go on a dating site? You know, what are your hobbies? I was like, I don't know. Oh, well, maybe it's this because that's what other people do. So I would try a bit of that. But actually, my hobbies, I'd never really even looked at what were my true interests because I was taking on somebody else's interests and hobbies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes, it starts with us. And I can honestly say over the years of doing angel card readings, you know, people kind of have an expectation of what the angels, you know, they're asking, they want to, you know, if they say, just pull some cards and let's see what the angels have to say. And so often I'll get tears from the client because the angels have gone somewhere that they didn't think they'd ever go, because the angels know what needs to be cleared to start allowing us to manifest the future. Because, you know, people always want to know about the future. Well, the angels are heal now so you can create and manifest what you want with the angels in the future. So that's why angel empowerment healing, whether it's with card readings or when we do our Raphael angel empowerment healing, whether somebody's booking a past life healing, whatever it is, it's to be able to heal in the now, to make the shift and change, to create the future you want. And that's why we do what we do, right, Sam? We are so about healing, creating, allowing the angels to manifest. So we have a few people that would like to have a card reading because Sam and I could talk about this forever. But first, Sam, to our listeners, if how do people get a hold of you to book a session with you?
Simple, at Sam Bell Inspired. So all of my social media handles at Sam Bell Inspired, and my website is sambellinspired.com.
And for me, it is Cindy Smith, AEP. If you, Apple Edward Paul, because that's what I teach, Angel Empowerment Practitioner. So Cindy Smith, AEP, you'll find me in all avenues, whatever that is, website, social media. So we have Leah from Vancouver would like a card pull. Also, do you want to start with her? And then I will do, I can't see the names anymore, Pacey, so you're going to have to tell me.
Well, Leah Stevens, I love that way. You know, I love how the angels work. All right, so you have Embrace Love.
Ooh.
Woo! So this is Archangel Jophiel. My child, be open to embrace abundant love. You are safe. That's a really important piece. I really wanted me to emphasize that. You are safe to love even more. As you trust in love and share from your heart center, you will attract and feel new joy. Trust and feel like a child receiving love with no limits. And you know, that is beautiful, beautiful message, because that's what we should all be doing. We should be nurturing that inner child. And like I say, when look back to who you truly are. Look back, Leah, to the things that used to light you up when you were a child. What did it feel like? Where did you feel it? You know, and get familiar with that feeling again. Use that as a guide. So that's beautiful. And ruby zoisite is the crystal associated here, and I help you tune into joy vibration from a heart-centered place and to embrace love in your physical experience. Lovely card there, and I'd love to hear what that means to you. If you want to pop that in the chat and let us know, or even after the show, by all means, but let us know, Lee, how that message sounds to you.
And Leah, what I get from your angel team, it's like they want to erase self-doubt. And that can be in all types of levels, but I hear erase self-doubt and really trust yourself. You know, I hear you got this. So whether you're going through a decision or there's a decision coming up for you around the corner, you got this. Trust yourself. And as Sam, you know, that's a beautiful card for you. Trust your authentic self. I don't know, just trust, you got this, remove doubt. Okay, it's like they want to just, you know, that brush, erase things away. It's the self-doubt they want to get rid of. So thank you, Leah, for reaching out to us.
Yes.
Shall I do for Julian from Grand Prairie?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Well, there's two here, but I'm gonna see what. So, Julian from Grand Prairie, we've got the creating peaceful space. Now, a lot of the time the angels will say creating sacred space. And this card says creating peaceful space. So it's when the angels are guiding to do that for any of us, because, you know, Sam and I'll get that message, but it's really taken the time to put yourself first is what I'm getting. And in that process of putting yourself first, it's like giving yourself a time out. I'm hearing give yourself a time out and have that time to regroup. The angels say sometimes you get pulled in too many directions, and it's really regrouping. I'll tell you what the card itself says, but it says, it's Archangel Raphael, my child, creating sacred space within your environment, home or in nature, allows an easier connection with self, partner, and us, the divine. Be purposeful in setting space both for you and your partner, can enjoy together, connect with us, and be present. And selenite, we use selenite for clearing space, but I really get for you, it's about having time out, making sure you have time for self in a quiet, peaceful space. Okay. Does that, anything you want to add, Sam?
So the message that I had was to bring your awareness any belief patterns that no longer serve you. And that I can almost see you in a quiet, sacred space and asking the angels to clear any of your belief patterns about yourself that they don't serve you, that they're no good to you anymore. They're in the past and you're moving on. I actually, one of the first things that I did when I started my healing journey was to create my own little space. And this weekend, I've actually created another little space for myself downstairs.
Beautiful.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And past life or past belief systems that get in our way. Yeah. It's energetically, it's getting rid of those. So thank you to Julian. Sarah from, that's your turn. Sarah from Saskatchewan.
Oh, yes. Look. We've got to, oh my goodness. I love how we start getting all these people calling in. Fantastic. Ooh, oh my goodness. The deck is, ooh. Now then, this is an interesting card that's come up for you. All right. Sarah from Saskatchewan. No. This is, oh, I love this. You're attracting vibration which is guiding your path to experience difficulty or struggle within or around you. Trust the vibration of no. You are safe to say no. And what I'm getting very much is, that expectation, especially in February, everybody expects you to find relationships or be in relationships, and it ought to be hearts and chocolates and everybody being happy. It's also okay to say, no, I don't want a relationship right now. I need time for myself. I need space for myself. And even if you're in a relationship already, maybe to taking a little bit of that time, no, I need some time for myself. Saying yes to yourself. That make anything to add there, Cindy? Okay.
I think I just heard when the card came up, no, it's okay to say no. Okay. And that can mean for all kinds of different things. You know how that saying goes, no is a complete sentence. But we usually, us as human beings, we say no, and then we've got to be able to give a reason, where sometimes no is just what no means. So for Sarah, sometimes it's just practicing no without having to explain why it is no.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
yes,
like that.
Thank you. So I'm going to pull a card for Michelle. And let's see, Michelle. Oh, flipping out. Well, Michelle, you got love is in the air.
Woohoo!
So focus on some love. So here, it's my child, you are blessed with your love partner. Trust your inner knowing to believe in your vibrational match now. So, share your love in all ways to enhance the best possible love connection. So perhaps, when they've got love in the air, that's sometimes it's changing our filter, giving opportunity to do some fun stuff in our relationship, make some time for each other, whatever that is. Have some love time. That's what I'm getting. Anything you want to add, Sam?
All I had when you started that was I was thinking about play.
Yeah.
Play. being playful and having fun. It's so important, and to, as I say, reconnecting with your inner child, that joy, finding that joy in that play, for each other.
And for all our listeners, love, the angels will all say, it's when they're saying love is in the air, it always has to start with us. So we love ourselves, even sometimes when we have those difficult days. So yeah, have some fun, Michelle. Okay, whatever that is that brings you joy, that's what they're suggesting.
Let us know.
left from Surrey, I'll let you pull.
Okay, left from Surrey. So Blep, you actually have a question. So you say that you are ready to meet your match, but what's taking so long for him to show up?
Good
Cindy.
question. We get questions about this often. So thank you for reaching out.
Yeah.
Let's see what the angels say.
Oh, these cards are falling out here. All right, so the card I have here is being a master communicator. And this is Archangel Gabriel or Gabriel. My child, allow communication in all forms of love. Communicate with positive intention through thoughts, spoken word, body language, and touch. You are the master and have choices on how to communicate and receive communication from others. Acknowledge the positive intent and let go of any negative intent. And that's really relevant to your question there. What's taking them so long? Cindy, you actually said in the beginning of the show, and if you didn't actually hear that, but the angels sometimes, and I remember this, I would put it out there. Okay, I'm ready. I want to meet my vibrational match, and then nothing. And then I'd be second guessing. The other thing is just be yourself, get out there, follow different hobbies, to do some play, look for your interests, exploring who you are. It just may well lead you to finding your vibrational match. So again, it all starts with you, but I'm getting, get out there, and in exploration of yourself, you're going to be finding your vibrational match. They're there, they're waiting for you, just waiting to get aligned.
I get that you have done, your awareness is there. You have, you have been doing the work. So, but what I'm getting is it just requires a little more patience. So if somehow you can just keep trusting that the universe is going to make it happen for you, because getting frustrated with self and the universe isn't going to help you. Please know you're doing the right thing, is what I'm hearing. And like, Sam says, the more we can put, you're doing the right thing, just have a little more patience, is what I'm hearing from your angels. And trust it'll be happen. It'll just, I always say it's if it's already happening.
I have to say here, when you said about patience, I was actually thinking of patience, and I've just been reading the card here. It's a blue lace agate is the crystal, and I love blue lace. It's actually one of my son's favorite stones. And there was this, I help take on a calm state of patience when processing information to see, hear, feel, and know the true intention. I love the way that the angels.
I know. So left. I know it's difficult to keep trusting. Why is it taking so long? But it is what I'm getting. Please just continue to trust. And just like Sam and I, it wasn't even something we were intending, and it happened. It's kind of when we stopped really focusing on it, it's like, boom, there it was. So, as frustrating as it is, we're sending you love and light, asking the angels to speed it up. the best that they can for you.
Very quickly, are they ready? Your
Yeah.
vibrational match is there, but are they ready yet?
And you want them to be ready.
You want them to be ready. So
Yes.
it'll be worth it.
We're here. We're at the end of the show again. Sam, thank you so much for sharing your story with our listeners. And I love Les Popovics from every cell in my body. And I am so blessed that the angels brought him to me. And as I know you are for Glenn. And so we really wanted to empower people out there to know that it does happen and it will. It's that trust. Our next show is where we're all given readings the whole hour. So next Monday is all four of us you'll have, and we will be pulling cards the whole hour for people, which we love to do on that show. So we are sending our love and light and giving everybody hope for your vibrational match, right, Sam?
Absolutely.
And as you know, find us if you want some healing to really clear things up for you. Reach out to either Sam or myself. Sam Bell Inspired, Cindy Smith AEP, and we would love to assist you. So any final closing? And our show
just goes so fast, Cindy.
I know we do this every week. We're sending love and light to all of our listeners, and we will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time doing a whole hour of card readings for people.
And please, if you have any other questions, pop them in the chats, because I know that all of us go in there and we have a look. And if you've got any questions, we'll do our best to answer them. Okay, love to everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Angel Empowerment Show, from I Can't to I Can, with your host Cindy Smith and co-host. Learn to empower you with angelic guidance every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. It's easy to tap into your divine self and trust in your angelic guidance. Let Cindy and co-hosts give you a loving push to explore your potential. For more information, go to CindySmithAEP.com. That's CindySmithAEP.com.